Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and we had a Raw review. I was gonna say like a good Raw, but I think it's okay. I think it actually wasn't as bad as what a lot of people thought it was. But this was for the 28th of July, the last one of right before SummerSlam. We got a big week going here, so figured we'll just jump into it. So we started off the show with Jey Uso coming down. I the only picture I could have is him trying not to laugh at the 10 bell salute for Hulk Hogan. So that's pretty odd brand for Jey Uso. But him coming down and trying to say that he's gonna go out and do everything on his own and stuff. And obviously he has a match with Roman in the tag match against Braun and Bronson Reed, which it's cool. But I feel like this is kind of make or break for Jay because he hasn't been doing much, and what else do you do with him after this? And I think that he could definitely have a big moment here, I guess, at SummerSlam, but that's more of a SummerSlam video. But this was okay. Paul Heyman came down, talked about him, just saying that you shouldn't be trusting and all this type of stuff. I thought it was a pretty decent promo. I feel Jay's part, he was just a little too gassed from dancing that he didn't really get much in there. So I put it in B. It was a weaker start than a lot of the episodes have had, but overall, I don't think it was too bad. Then we had a mixed tag match, which was the Kabuki Warriors and AJ Styles versus Judgment Day. This was a pleasant surprise to see. When I saw this on the card, I was like, I like this a lot. I like the idea of it too. It was a pretty solid match. I don't think there was anything too crazy because it was about 10 minutes long. Definitely would love to see more stuff like this with some of the factions and different groups. It's a good way to. They always like you try to get a rivalry built up or try to like show different stuff before like a big major event, and sometimes they just don't really know what to do. It's just promos, but something like this is a cool thing. We got two different SummerSlam matches, represented here. I mean, obviously AJ Styles versus Dominic Mysterio, but the tag team champs are going to be in it. It's not against the Kabuki Warriors, but at least gets them out there and has them, seen instead of just being a promo type thing. The match was a solid B. I definitely think I wish there's more, but this scene right here with Kyrie getting tossed out there for the insane elbow is absolutely amazing. That pretty much saves the match from being like that you will remember it. Overall, like I said, the match was a little bit less than desirable on other areas because it should have been a stacked match. Then we had a interview with Sami Zayn. I actually don't remember exactly when this was in the show. I don't think I even wrote it down. It wasn't really anything too crazy, but he was going to have an interview with Corey Graves and gets interrupted by Karen Cross, and he says he'll if Karen Cross beats him, he'll say whatever he wants, which could lead to a Sammy heel turn. So I think this is kind of the payoff that we're looking for. Hopefully get that, and hopefully it's not just Sammy overcoming all this. And then a completely random match, Grayson Waller versus Sheamus. It was like a two-parter because the match itself I thought was okay. I don't think it was anything too crazy. I'd probably put it down and see worst match of the night. I mean, the rest of the matches just felt, they had some type of flow to it. This wasn't bad. I really don't think it was bad. It's just not what the rest of the show's feel was. And then it ended with Sheamus picking up the victory, but then Rusev coming down and beating him. I feel like I'm fine with seeing the Rusev thing one more time, but I'm not 100% really like sold on this feud. It's just like a okay thing. Then we had Lyra come down and talk. This was a strange promo. I don't know if she was just feeling anxious, but she started dancing and just kind of was all over the place. And the cool part was with Becky Lynch coming down there and she getting the upper hand and attacking Becky Lynch. That part was cool, but I think the promo itself before that was just a little rough. So I'm gonna put it in C. It still doesn't really change my feel on the whole like rivalry itself, but it definitely was an odd decision there. Then we get to the cream of the crop, the 8 women tag match, the Secret Herbis and Naomi versus the dream team of Nikki Bella, Io Sky, Stephanie Vicor, and Rhea Ripley. Um, this is just one of those phenomenal things. Obviously, we were going to not get it super long. This should have deserved a lot more time and really deserved the main event. This deserved it. Whatever happens in the main event was never going to be as good as this match. So that's kind of my big gripe on it. I think overall it was pretty good. Everybody kind of got saved to look good. I think there was a lot of good moments in it too. So solid A for me. It was definitely the most enjoyable match of like just this is just a stacked lineup. Then we had a promo about Bailey back there. I mean, I feel like they're cooking something with Bailey's character, but she's extremely frustrated. Missed WrestleMania, missed SummerSlam, missing these major events is putting a squeeze on her. Obviously, could be possibly a heel turn, but I feel like that's so recent that she's been a heel. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but then again, what else do you do with her? So I would put her in A. I think it's an interesting storyline, so I kind of want to see what happens there. Then we get the tag match, the LWO versus the Judgment Day. This is honestly was just JD McDonagh doing God's work in the ring. He carried this match. The match itself I thought was really good, a really good title defense for Judgment Day. This is what they need to do to really make the Raw tag team titles look better. It was a little bit of a colossal, just a lot of crap happening because obviously we had El Grande Americano come down and then get taken out by Dragon Lee. Then we had another El Grande Americano come down, and I feel like there's something weird going on, or I not feel. We know there's something weird going on with all that, which we'll go into the next panel. But I think it kind of deterred a little bit from the match, but I think I'd still put it in an A. But let's talk about the next El Grande Americano. Obviously, it's Pete Dunne. Not sure what they're doing here. I'm interested. So I'm putting it up in S tier. I don't know why, but it is interesting. They're starting to get bigger and bigger. It's like anybody who isn't doing anything is stuck in catering becomes El Grande Americano. Maybe that's just a new thing that they do once in a while. I don't know. I'm intrigued and seeing what they're gonna do. Then we had CM Punk and Gunther. I feel like CM Punk absolutely destroyed Gunther in this promo. He really put into a perspective that I really do think that CM Punk has a good shot of winning here. Plus that little flip outside, I don't know, that was really cool. It was so random, but it was cool. I put this up in S. I think it definitely helped the rivalry go along. Then we had our main event, Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed, which I don't think anybody would have disagreed that we already knew what this ending was going to be, was a disqualification. The match itself, I think, was okay. I really don't like when they just always rely on the disqualification. Obviously, Bronson Reed can't be taking an L here, but there could have been a lot of different things that they did with interference or accidental stuff that could have cost him the match and then allowed Bronson Reed then to beat him up afterwards or whatever, which way you wanted to do it. But they didn't do that. They just went right with the disqualification. Then obviously they beat up Jey Uso. Roman came down. They roughly had the upper hand until they did not, and Seth Rollins' group was able to take him out. And Bronson Reed stealing Roman Reigns' shoes is absolutely chef's kiss to that thing. I think overall, I'll put the match and everything into a B. It was pretty solid, just not really deserving of the main event. Just the best part was the stealing of the shoes, which is the most iconic part of the match, I guess. So, I guess that's what it is. But yeah, this has been my Raw review. I've been having reviews for every single SummerSlam match this week and the predictions for SummerSlam. So if you like any of that type of stuff, you'll be able to find it on the channel. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.